Hello, everybody. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, C-Rex. Hello, Buzzy Bug. I'm going to start making some kind of a game out of, let's see, like how long it takes for Ava to come, and whoever Ava appears on is the winner. So Buzzy Bug, you'd be the winner tonight. Here you go, baby. Oh my, she wanted that. She was ready. There you go, baby. Hello, Sir Philip. So good to see you. Hello, Eileen Carlin. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Manuel. I am so glad to have you guys all here tonight. I was given a little bit of warnings in the chat, but just letting you guys know it's going to be hard to watch this one in the beginning. He is suffering from withdrawals severely. I'm going to save the majority of my commentary for the end of this one. But I do encourage you guys to still comment and everything, but I ask you to be kind.
Hello there, sir. Yeah, your full name, please? Yeah. Okay, thank you. It's just skipping a little bit, so I didn't catch it. Do you have a residence, sir?
No, not at the moment.
How about an email address?
Yes, masonry@gmail.com.
All right, sir. How about a phone number for you? All right, sir. The state is alleging two charges against you. One is trespassing in the second degree. The other charge is interfering with judicial proceedings. Both of those are misdemeanor violations that you have the right to remain silent, right to counsel, and right to trial. I've scheduled you for an arraignment on the 27th of August at 9:00 a.m. That's where you'll need to be prepared to plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest to those charges. Take a deep breath. You doing all right?
I'm going to withdrawals.
Okay. Would you like to go to the counseling center, straight to a counseling center to help you with your withdrawals?
No, it's all right. I'm staying at a church right now.
Okay. Well, they're not counselors.
I understand.
Okay.
I'll get through it.
Okay. Your current release conditions, I do want to let you know that the alleged victim is in the courtroom, so we'll be hearing from them in a moment. But your current release conditions are to obey all orders of the court, not to commit any crimes, Notify the court immediately of any address change. Do not leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court. Do not contact the alleged victim by any means. And do not go near the location of the alleged offense. You don't have any personal property or anything over there, do you?
That's what I was doing. That's what I was going to do, is grab my tools and call the cops.
Okay, well,
I do, but I'm not worried about it.
okay. Well, if you need to go there to get your property and possessions, then you need to go with law enforcement.
Okay.
Okay, so you can't go over there unless the police are with you, otherwise you'll be arrested.
I
Okay?
understand, Your Honor.
All right. Further on the release conditions are you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. And then I'm ordering you to contact the probation services. So you're on pretrial services, which means all you need to do is when you're released from custody, contact the probation department. I'll give you a name and phone number, and they're expecting your call. They'll tell you what they're asking for you to do, and they're going to monitor these release conditions to make sure you're obeying them, make sure you're going to court. If you violate any of the conditions or if you don't report into them, they'll notify the court and your release can be revoked. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, and you'll show up to court on the 27th August that I informed you about?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll release you on your own recognizance. Before you go, let me see if the victim wishes to hear anything. Now, you wish to state anything?
I do.
Okay, yeah, come right up here. Okay. Go ahead.
I just need I need Tim to understand that he cannot show up at my house.
I already reiterated, it's a release conditions that you do not go to the residence without law enforcement. The only purpose for going there is to get your property, so he's allowed to go there to get his
He
property.
has no property there anymore, sir.
All right, so she's indicating, alleged victim is indicating that you don't have any property there. So if you want to make a theft report or anything like that to try to figure out what happened to it, you need to report to law enforcement to have them take an investigative report.
Okay.
But she's indicating that there is no property there, so I'm revoking that civil.
Oh God, help him! He's gonna go to the hospital.
There's a detention officer right. That's fine. The detention staff's right there. Is that all you wish to say? Okay. We'll get the paperwork to you.
Timothy Marks, victim would like to be heard. I don't know if you want to do that first.
Sounds good. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Your Honor. Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, thank you. I think this is the next one.
He's doing so much better. I spent a week on that hearing thinking he died. I cried so hard for a stranger, for a man I've never met. I shared the clip with one person, and then I ended up talking to people in court about it, and they actually called Pace in court, and they said that they had been watching the hearing live because the hearing was taken down immediately, as it should have been. I didn't want to run it because I wanted, in case he did pass away, I wanted them to be able to notify his family, and I did not want to post it just for clickbait. And everybody kept telling me to post it, to share it. And I just couldn't. I couldn't until I knew that he was okay. And we monitored the they have like a roster of all deaths that happen in custody. And we watched that, and his name didn't come up. And when people in court called the hospital, called the court, they said that he had a seizure and that he was hospitalized, and that was all that they could release, and that was enough. That was fine. I sat a week on it thinking that he had passed away before I even talked to people in court about it. So he's okay.
What's the next one?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not a problem. All right, sir, this is case 2025 CM12231. Could you state your full name?
Timothy Roland Marks.
All right, Mr. Marks, so we're here on a failure to comply with a court order, Class 1 misdemeanor, and criminal trespassing, which is a Class 2 misdemeanor. Were you in court for the group advisory?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you understand those penalty ranges?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have any questions on your attorney waiver form?
No, just about being appointed a court ordered, attorney.
Yeah, let me see if there's a jail time request here. All right, so far there's no jail request, so that would disqualify unless you have another reason for a court-appointed attorney besides I can't afford them.
Right.
So if that changes, then you'll be notified of that change, and then we can open that back up to you. But right now, there's no jail time being sought. Okay, so your choices now are to hire an attorney at your own expense or waive the presence of an attorney.
I can't afford one, so I'm gonna have to waive.
Okay, so I think you would indicate that second one because you kind of requested one, and the court says, hey, you can't have one.
Right.
So, all right,
So
then
go ahead and date and sign.
yeah, if you would date and sign that, please. You hang in there. I know when something on the video, you have a little bit of.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm slowly getting better.
Okay. All right, take that from you. And this one's just talking about today's stuff. So. Do you have any questions about how to plead on the charges?
Yeah, I don't really know how to plead. That's why I wanted an attorney. So I think I'm gonna have to go with not guilty, so that way I can talk to a prosecutor or something.
Yeah, so that anytime that you're unsure, I can't give you legal advice,
I
but when people are unsure, I enter not guilty pleas so they can become sure of how they want to do it. You can change your mind later.
Yeah.
So we'll enter the not guilty now.
Okay.
And schedule you for the pre-trial conference. Did you understand the explanation of what occurs there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So they'll probably have the police report ready to discuss with you and any evidence that they might use at a trial if it goes to a trial.
Okay.
Could enter a plea bargain that you agree on, could be dismissed one or two, whatever. So that's all up to them.
All right.
Do you have a phone or email?
No, not at the time.
Okay. It's no longer a good email?
No, it is. I just don't have access to my phone right now.
Understood. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to call your case as there's allegedly involves a victim. Any victims in the courtroom regarding case Marks?
Yes.
Yes. Would you like to be heard?
Yes.
Okay, you can stay right there if you'd like to and use that microphone.
Okay.
First off, by stating your name.
Bobby Leanne Massey.
Okay, let me turn that down a little bit. Okay, Miss Massey, go ahead.
Okay, I would just like to read something that I wrote that I would like the court to hear.
How long is it?
Not very long at all, less than a minute.
Go ahead.
To whom it may concern, I would like for this letter for the court to understand that Tim needs help more than he needs punishment. And for Tim to understand that he also needs help and to realize what he has caused for my family now. I've known Tim for over 25 years. We've been friends to best friends to a married couple, and he's the father of my children. We've had great times and wonderful times and horrible times. What I really need him to understand is that he needs to get his life together. What I would like to see, I understand that a crime is a crime, but I would like for him to get help more than punishment. I would like for him to go to a 6-month treatment for his alcohol, and that way he can become a better person and a better father for his child. My only goal for Tim is just to become a better person in life. I don't want to be a part of the case as a victim to where I'm getting him in trouble. I want to be a part of the case as a victim to where it's sought out for him to get help.
Okay.
That's what I would like for Tim.
Okay, is that all you wish to say? All right, thank you. And the victim services in communications with you and contacting you, correct?
Yes, I've received a letter just for today.
Okay, so they'll give you the next one. He's got a not guilty plea, as you heard, and so they'll notify you of that next date. You also have the right to be present at that and wish to give your information to the prosecutor as well, so they know how to proceed with what you have to say. Doesn't mean that they will, but they can, but that's what victims' rights are, so you can be heard, okay? So look for that to be coming, and also I'll have my bailiff tell you what that date is before the defendant leaves, so you're aware of it also, but you should receive some literature. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your input. You're welcome. All right, sir. So with your not guilty plea, my bailiff will get you a court date to come back. You'll come right back here in a setting like this. Prosecutor will take you one at a time into a private office and talk about the case with those possible outcomes that I discussed with you.
I understand that.
All right, any questions at all?
So they made me check in at the probation department for like a preliminary type thing before this court date. Will I need to do the same thing before the next court date?
Yes, you just stay in contact with them. They
Okay.
should have you, what will happen, that'll continue until the case is finally sentenced, whenever that is. Whether it
Okay.
goes to trial and you're found guilty, if you're found not guilty, then you have no more conditions. That means you're not guilty.
Okay.
Found not guilty. If you're found guilty after a trial, this is at the very latest, then you have those conditions up until the trial.
Gotcha.
Okay? If you enter the plea agreement, all those conditions are in place until the sentencing, which would be a plea agreement. Then we'll talk about what's in that plea agreement as far as how to proceed forward.
Yes,
Okay?
sir. Okay, thank you.
So let me review your release conditions now that you're talking about. That's obey all orders of the court, not to commit any crimes, notify the court if you obtain an address, not to leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court, not to contact the alleged victims in any manner, not to go to the location of the alleged offense, and not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription, and to continue your call-ins to the probation or walk-in, however you guys decided you're doing those communications.
Yeah, basically just before the court date at some point, I guess.
Okay, so just whatever they asked of you and require of you is just follow those conditions.
Okay.
Any other questions on that?
No, no.
Okay, you're all set to go.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Xavier Keevy.
If you're the praying type, say a prayer for this man, please. I really hope that he is successful and that he gets the treatment that he needs, that he gets the support and the help that he needs. He seemed so kind, and I think that's what made it even harder. Bandit. I think that's what made it even harder to watch. He wasn't belligerent, he wasn't a jerk. He seems so kind. Yeah, so say a prayer for him. We all hope that he does better, and I'm so glad to see that whatever that collapse was, be it a seizure or a heart attack or what, I'm so glad that he made it out to the other side. Yeah, that shaking was hard. That was rough. Well, hi, Earl. The next one is surprisingly easier to watch. I don't know how to watch any of this stuff and stay sane, really. But we get to see 2 sentencings of one man.
Defendant will withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty and plead to the indictment, that being 1 count of possession of cocaine, a felony of the 5th degree, with a forfeiture specification. Thank you.
Mr. Fatika.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I discussed this matter with Mr. Ryan. I anticipate that he'll be withdrawing his formerly entered plea of not guilty and a plea of guilty.
Okay. Mr. Ryan, how old are you?
38 years old, Your Honor.
How far did you go through school?
Some college, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am, Your
You
Honor.
able to read, write, and
Yes.
understand the English language?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Prior to coming to court, have you taken any drugs or alcohol or any prescription medication in the last 48 hours?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been diagnosed with or treated for any mental illness?
No, Your Honor.
Did you get a copy of the indictment?
Yes, I did.
All right, and you're going to plead guilty to that charge?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right, before I accept your guilty plea, I need to determine that you know and understand the constitutional rights you'll be waiving, the consequences of your guilty plea, and the maximum penalty I could give you, and I need to be satisfied that your guilty plea is being made freely, knowingly, and voluntarily. I'm going to ask you questions. If you don't understand a question, or you want to talk to Mr. Fatika some more, let me know and I'll give you more time. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
You have a constitutional right to have a trial, either to me or to a jury of 12 Lake County citizens. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, I am.
If you go to a jury trial, all 12 members must agree to a guilty verdict before you can be found guilty. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, I am.
If you go to trial, the prosecutor will call witnesses to testify against you. Do you understand the prosecutor must prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt at a trial?
Yes, I do.
After the witnesses are done testifying for the prosecutor, you have the constitutional right to have your lawyer cross-examine those witnesses. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, I am.
If you go to trial, you have the right to have witnesses come here and testify for you. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, I am.
If those witnesses refuse to come to court, I'll issue an order called a subpoena to make them come and testify. Do you understand that right?
Yes, I do.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, I am.
You have the right to testify at trial if you want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, I am.
You have the constitutional right to not testify at trial if you do not want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes.
If you decide not to testify at trial, nobody is permitted to comment on that decision. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you go to trial and you're found guilty, you have the right to appeal a guilty finding. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, I am.
If you file an appeal, you have the constitutional right to have a lawyer represent you in the appeal. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes.
If you could not afford to hire a lawyer, one will be provided at no cost. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you file an appeal, you're entitled to be given a transcript of all the hearings in this case. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes.
You cannot afford a copy of those transcripts. They'd be given to you at no cost. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you plead guilty today, you will not have the right to appeal the guilty finding. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of your rights?
No.
Do you still want to plead guilty to this charge?
Yes.
Do you understand by pleading guilty, you're fully admitting your guilt to the charge?
Yes.
You understand by pleading guilty to this felony that you're voluntarily giving up your freedom for whatever period of time I sentence you to prison, to jail, or to community control?
Yes.
Possession of cocaine is a felony of the 5th degree. It carries a 12-month maximum prison sentence and a $2,500 maximum fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you plead guilty to the forfeiture specification, you're giving up the items listed. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand I could give you a driver's license suspension of between 6 months and 5 years.
Yes.
You understand your felony conviction prevents you from owning or possessing a firearm.
Yes.
You understand if a prison sentence is imposed in this case, you might have to serve a period of post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority.
Yes.
They would put conditions on you. If you violate the conditions, they could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
If your violation's a new felony, then you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The penalty for that would be the greater of 12 months or the time you have left under post-release control. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand that if a prison sentence is imposed, you are eligible for judicial release.
Yes.
I could place you on community control for up to 5 years, but if you violate any conditions, I could send you to prison for 12 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Has anybody promised you I would be lenient on you just because you're pleading guilty?
No.
Has anybody promised you what I will sentence you to in this case?
No, Your Honor.
You understand I don't have to follow the sentencing recommendation of either the prosecutor or your lawyer.
Yes, I do.
Have you had enough time to talk to Mr. Fatika before pleading guilty today?
Yes, I did.
Has he discussed everything about your case and answered all of your questions?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the advice he has given you?
Yes, I am.
Have you been threatened or coerced in any way to plead guilty today?
No, Your Honor.
Are you freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entering your guilty plea?
Yes, I am.
Do you have any questions?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Ms. Bell, if the case went to trial, what would the evidence show?
Thank you, Your Honor. Had this matter proceeded to trial, the state would have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that on August 6, 2023, the defendant was pulled over in Willowick, Lake County, Ohio. The officer became aware that the defendant had warrants, pulled him out of the vehicle, and searched him and found cocaine in his pocket. That cocaine was sent to the Lake County Crime Lab and confirmed to be cocaine, a Schedule II drug, less than the bulk amount.
Mr. Fatika, anything to add to that?
Very minor point. He was a passenger in the car, Your Honor.
Mr. Ryan, did you hear what Ms. Bell said the facts would show if the case went to trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are those facts true?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what's your plea to possession of cocaine, a felony 5?
Guilty, Your Honor.
What is your plea to the forfeiture specification?
Guilty.
Mr. Fatika?
Just sign this one?
Mr. Ryan, is this your signature on the written plea of guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want me to accept the written plea of guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll accept the written plea of guilty. Defendant was present. Mr. Fatika advised all of his rights, made a knowing, intelligent, voluntary waiver of those rights. He understands the nature of the charge, the consequences of his guilty plea, and the maximum penalty. Find it to be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary. I will accept his plea of guilty and find him guilty of possession of cocaine, a felony 5, and the specification. Mr. Fatika, what does he want to do?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Ryan would like to proceed directly with sentencing. He understands if we do the sentencing today, prison term would be his only option. He's advised that his most recent prison release was in 2016. We'd ask the court to consider a prison term of 8 months.
All right, Mr. Ryan, is that what you want to do?
Yes,
You
Your
want to
Honor.
proceed today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to have a pre-sentence report prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Bell, why don't you tell me what his record is?
Thank you, Your Honor. Based on the leads I have in the file, looks like there was a theft in 2013, a misdemeanor theft, a felony of 5th degree theft in 2015, some probation violations, at least 3. That seems to be the majority of it.
Okay, is that what you went to prison on, that theft that happened in 15?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what were the circumstances of that theft?
It was misuse of credit cards. I used credit cards that I found, and I had gotten charged with the grand theft for using the credit cards.
And what county was that in?
Lake County, Your Honor.
What was your sentence?
I did neocap as part of the sentence, violated probation, and finished up the rest of my sentence with the prison term.
Okay. All right, what do you want to tell me then before I impose sentence? Mr. Ryan, go ahead.
Just I apologize to the court, Your Honor. My mother died almost 2 years ago in August. I'm the main caretaker at the house, and I haven't done heroin since 2019. I just asked the court to show me leniency. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor, I feel like you should know that he has a holder out of Cuyahoga County for a misdemeanor attempted drug abuse.
Do you know what credit he has?
See, I can figure it out.
Is that the only time you've served on this? Was when you got picked up?
Might have been a few days, Your Honor, when a case I first got arrested back
Okay.
in
And you
last
got
year.
and you got picked up here on the 13th for this? You've been in since the 13th?
Looks like there was a failure to appear warrant issued back in March.
He has 9 days at the Lake County Jail in this stint. I don't know what the days are.
All right. Then I'm going to give him credit, okay, but it's at least 9 days, so you can find out,
Okay.
Ms. Bell, when you put the entry together, what time was served prior to that, okay?
Got it.
All right, since you're waiving the PSR, I'll sentence you today. I've considered all the applicable statutory factors. I'll give you 8 months in prison with credit for at least 9 days. If it's more, Ms. Bell will find out exactly how long you were detained on that prior to this last 9 days, and the costs are assessed. Anything else, Ms. Bell?
Just the forfeiture, Your Honor.
And the items are forfeited. Mr. Fatika, anything else?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Good luck. You can-
R409, we're here today for sentencing again. State of Ohio has had the opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report and is prepared to go forward. Thank you.
Mr. Fatika?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We're ready to go forward as well. I've reviewed the PSR and the drug and alcohol report. When we continued the initial sentencing in order to get more feedback on Mr. Ryan's methadone use, we've submitted the Brightview individualized treatment program. Again, we acknowledge that Mr. Ryan does have a past criminal history, no offenses of violence. He's been on methadone for 6 years. I think his feeling is that it's worked so far, but he's prepared to go forward and try and wean himself off of it. Thank you.
Mr. Ryan, what do you want to tell me?
Your Honor, I'd just like to say that I have a plan. I'd like to, in the next 6 months, wean down to the methadone to try to get off of it.
Why you been on it so long?
Because it was working, Your Honor. It gave me good peace of mind. It was just something I can't just stop right away, I would say. But I would like to start to wean myself off of it so I don't have to be dependent on it anymore. I think 6 years is probably enough time that I wouldn't go back to using opiates if I stopped taking the methadone.
What about the cocaine? What's going on with that?
That was something I struggled with. My mother died. I was clean for years, and when my mother died, I took it hard, and I just didn't cope with it the right way. I know there's other ways to cope with it. I could talk to people, I can go to meetings, and the way I handled it.
When did you start using that?
How?
When?
My mother died in 22, I think, a little while after my mother died in August of 22.
You hadn't used it before then?
No, I did, Your Honor.
Huh?
Yes, I did, Your Honor, before then.
Okay. Why were you selling so much heroin and coke?
I did it for a friend.
What do you mean you did it?
It was a dealer that I did it for. He asked me to drop it off for drugs, and that was what I did for him.
So Gomez called you and asked you to do this?
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Well, that's not how it happened.
He would text me. The two guys would text me. They would text each other, and then he would text me and ask me if I could meet John.
What do you mean, two guys?
The guy that I met at work.
Who's that?
John.
John who?
Sanders.
John Sanders. Where's
Yes.
John Sanders these days?
I have no idea, Your Honor.
Probably in prison. Okay. So how did you know John Sanders?
I met him at the factory I worked at, Pace Engineering in Willoughby, Ohio.
Okay. And so what does Sanders have to do with this?
he was going through Gomez, and then something happened between them two, and then Gomez would ask me if I could drop off drugs.
How did you know Gomez?
I met him 5 or 6 years ago
Where?
when I was using heroin. Before 2019.
And so, how did Gomez happen to get a hold of you?
Like, during that time, that the sales, Your Honor?
Yeah.
He would text me.
Why did you have his number?
'Cause
I mean, you were using heroin with Gomez back in 19 or so,
Yes.
and so if you stopped using heroin, why did you keep his phone number handy?
I can't exactly, yeah, I know he went to prison, Your Honor, and I'm not sure how he reconnected after that, when he got out.
Well, you knew it was him texting you, right?
Oh, yes, I am.
Because you still had his number in your phone, right?
It wasn't like that, Your Honor. He got out of
was it like?
prison, I think somebody that I knew met him again, and that was how we reconnected.
Okay. So you hadn't had any contact with Gomez in 5 or 6 years, right?
I think it was about 3 years, about 22, or maybe 23 is when,
Okay. So from what you're telling me, you had been off drugs for a few years.
yes, before, from 2019 till around the time my mother died.
Okay. So why would you get back involved with somebody who was a known drug peddler?
Just to get drugs. Your
What,
Honor.
did you feel the need to do Gomez a favor?
No, not at all.
Then why did you do it?
For drugs. He would give me drugs to do it, and that was why I did it.
How is it the CI knew to contact you then?
He didn't. I met him at work, and I gave him Gomez's number, and then like 2 months later, Gomez said something happened between him and John, and he asked me if I could meet John to drop it off. So John would call Gomez, and then Gomez would text me and ask me if I could drop it off at like 6 o'clock, and I would say yes. And then I would.
Who set this up between him and the narcs?
It was a confidential informant. I just have his number is all I would have, Your Honor.
Who did you sell this stuff to?
John.
John Sanders?
Yes.
Jesus Christ! What do your records show from Brightview?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Well, you're going to Brightview, right?
Yes.
What are they going to say? What are you doing at Brightview?
I go to group
Fucking believable.
once a week. I do counseling. I go weekly now to get my medicines. I go once a week. I told them, the doctor, that I wanted to try to set up a 6-month plan to get off of it. And she said that they send it to another team, but they don't do that there. And that the other team sent the records here. And then yesterday when I was there, the receptionist said that the probation officer was requesting more information. And I did not know about that until yesterday.
What information?
I am not sure. She just said that they were requesting more information.
What did you get from Brightview?
From Brightview, I received the treatment summary that Mr. Fatika sent, and then last week they sent a monthly summary from July 27th to August 24th of 2025.
What does that show?
That shows that there were 3 group sessions scheduled, 1 was attended, 2 individual counseling sessions were scheduled, 0 were attended.
Why didn't you attend those?
I was maybe working, Your Honor.
What?
I was working at the time.
What good is a treatment plan if you don't participate in it?
I mean, I was going daily there, and it's, they had the groups at 9 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. The scheduling is just kind of hard.
Why were you signed up for the group sessions?
They have group sessions every day of the week there.
I know, Why were you signed up for group
It's for your
session?
medicine. It's
What?
part of the program to go when you go to Brightview.
Okay, so why weren't you doing the program?
Because I was working. They would let you do it. If you told the doctor that you were working and you would talk to them about it, they would say that you don't have to do group that week.
Well, what's the point of going to Brightview?
It was to stay on my medicine. Because, it was working. It was,
So it's strictly to get your methadone.
yes, and then the
So
state's
none of the
now-
other stuff. What else? What was the one you went 1 out of 2?
But 1 out of 3 was the group sessions,
Okay.
0 out of 2 were the individual counseling.
Okay, so out of 5 things, 3 group and 2 individual, you went to 1 thing. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you went to 1 thing because you were working.
Yes, and I would talk to the doctor.
Which all the doctor does is peddle methadone, right?
And she's a prescriber, and
And the absolute only reason that you showed up at all was not for the counseling, not for the therapy, not for the treatment. It was for the drugs. Let's be real, dude. I mean, just come on.
she, you could talk to her. I could see my counselor for a few minutes. I could talk to the counselor that runs the group. It wasn't like I wasn't going to the hour session, but I was still checking in with the counselors and talking to them.
What do you mean checking in with the counselors?
They would ask you how everything's going, if you have any problems, how the medicine's working for you, if you need any help with doing anything, like getting rides with your insurance, clothing, food, and stuff like that.
What else besides those 2 things, Ms. Crook?
Then he did attend all 4 scheduled physician appointments.
That's to get the meds, right?
Correct. But the release did not, release on file does not permit disclosure of the toxicology.
Why not?
I asked them, they told me to sign the releases. I signed what releases
Well, but not all the releases were signed. The release to get the toxicology results were not signed.
they didn't tell me that.
Here we go again. Didn't we run into this problem last time we were here? Okay. What did the toxicology test show?
My methadone use.
What else?
Cocaine use before, a little bit into April.
In April.
Yes.
Why are you still using cocaine?
I was having trouble, I was worried about court, Your Honor. I didn't handle it the right
Worried
way.
about court? I mean, you're a veteran at going to court. You've been to court over and over most of your life. What are you worried about going to court for?
I'm with my father. I don't want to leave my father. I don't want to leave my dog. I take care of the house.
Okay, what? See, you wouldn't have to worry about any of that crap if you stopped doing drugs. And if you were going to stop, the way to stop doing drugs is to participate in the treatment program.
How much care are you really providing your father, the dog, and the household if you're high all the time?
The entire treatment program.
Yes.
So you don't think it's important to go through the entire Brightview treatment program, right?
No, I do, Your Honor.
But you don't do it.
A couple groups I didn't attend, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You went to 1 out of 3 group sessions. You didn't go to any of the individual sessions. So you don't place any value on that. So why would I have you continue or participate in any treatment when you don't bother showing up for it? What's the point?
Because I can do it, Your Honor. If
You
give
can
me
do
a chance
what?
to prove it, I
You can do what?
I can attend, I can do whatever is needed of me.
You just proved the last month that you don't attend.
I'm sorry about that, Your Honor.
Well, the least of my concerns is whether you're sorry or not sorry about it. The concern is that you knew you had to come to court and you still didn't do it. Now, I would think if you want to get off the drugs, that you would do it anyway to get off the drugs. And then it would be a little more important from the standpoint that you're going to be here. But you didn't do it anyway.
It is important to me, Your Honor.
If it were important to you, it would be a priority for you. So I have a hard time believing that Brightview gave you releases to sign but withheld the release on the toxicology. My guess is you just wouldn't sign the toxicology. That's my guess.
That was the case, Your Honor.
So let's get back to, I can't believe that Sanders is a CI. Sanders' name has been floating around here as long as I've been here.
He was a CI, Your Honor. He was with the narcotics agent when I would eat him.
I know, I mean, it's the nature of the CI, but I'm very puzzled by this whole thing. So Gomez and Sanders are buddies. Gomez and Sanders get into some arguments, some falling out, so he has to go through you to get it?
That was what I was told through Gomez, Your Honor.
No. What really happened was Gomez got a little smart about it. He recognized that Sanders was probably a narc. My guess is they did the typical low-level buys and then asked for a really big buy. And Gomez went, ooh, that's a lot of stuff compared to what he normally gets. Maybe it's a trap. How about you take it to him? And you really just wanted the drugs. So you did it.
Gomez told you that?
Yes.
Okay. That's an awful lot of weight you're moving there.
I mean, Sanders would text Gomez to say what he wanted, and Gomez would text him the price, and then Sanders would ask Gomez if I could meet him, and Gomez would text me to ask
God damn, if you spent this much time engaging in treatment, you'd be a lot better off, okay? Rather than playing around with Sanders and Gomez. Where do you work?
with my father, self-employed.
Doing what?
Demoing, siding, small roofs.
So let me understand this. Your father knows you got a drug problem, right?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so did you explain to your father that you had a group session at Brightview in July and August? 2 of them? Did you explain to him that you had those and you had to go to them?
No, Your Honor.
No, why not?
I don't know, Your Honor.
You don't know. Well, who knows? Who can give me that answer?
Only I can.
So you didn't explain to him you had individual sessions,
Can I
right?
call for a second, Your Honor?
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
You did. Why not?
I don't know.
You didn't want to, because you didn't really want to go to Brightview anyway.
I was going to Breakthrough every day, though,
To get your methadone.
for 3 months.
To get your methadone.
Yes, Your Honor.
So as long as you take your methadone, everything's okay.
I guess, Your Honor.
You guess wrong, okay?
I mean,
Because you're taking the methadone and all along the way using cocaine.
Yes, Your Honor.
So it wasn't okay. And Brightview knew you were using cocaine, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
In April. You tell me April, but I don't know that. It could have been July and August, for all I know, because I don't have the results because you wouldn't sign a release.
Okay, sorry, Your Honor.
Sorry for what? Didn't we continue this so I could get the information I need?
Yes, you did.
And I don't have the information I need,
No, you don't.
because you didn't sign a release.
All right, yes, that was,
Right. Now, I'm looking at these reports, okay?
yes.
Because I sent you for a drug and alcohol evaluation. You know what the recommendation of that evaluator is?
What's that, Your Honor?
That you engage in an intensive outpatient treatment program. You know the commitment to an intensive outpatient treatment program is?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is it?
About 3 hours a day, 3 days a week.
Yeah, how are you gonna do that if you're working? If you
I can
couldn't,
do
if
it.
you couldn't, if you missed in the course of a month 4 separate things at Brightview, how in the world would you do 3 hours a day, 3 days a week for 6 or 8 weeks?
That would make it my priority.
Now, why would I believe that you're gonna make it a priority now? When you didn't leading up to this?
All you could, I'm not sure how, just, all I could say is that I would make it my priority.
Okay. You can say anything you want, that doesn't make it so.
I mean, I could show you.
The accurate predictor of what you're gonna do is what you've done, not what you say you're gonna do. It baffles me that you haven't made this a priority leading up to where you are now. Okay, you were arraigned on this case April 7th, so this case has been going on nearly 5 months. You know the importance of these cases, right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay. How do you know the importance of these cases?
Because it's serious, serious charges I have against me.
Okay.
And
Well, here's how you know, because starting with when you were an adult, you had a theft in Euclid Municipal Court, you had a felony drug possession in Cuyahoga County, a bunch of probation violations. You had a felony theft in Lake County in 15 with probation violations that led you to serve a prison sentence for the violations. And when you get out, you get a petty theft in Mentor Municipal Court, a possession of cocaine here in 23, pled guilty in 24, I gave you 8 months in prison. You got out in January of 25. When you were here, when I sent you to prison, on May 21 of 24, what I apparently was not aware of is that in 23 and early 24, you were committing these offenses, these drug sales. You had a concurrent Cuyahoga sentence to my sentence for drug possession. So the point of this part of the discussion was that you know full well what's on the line. And you ignored it anyway. So that's a pretty good predictor of what you're going to do. What else do you want to tell me?
I apologize, Your Honor, for my past actions. I just hope you can give me a chance to show you that I can do it.
You've had lots of chances. You just got out of prison for this. What, a year ago? Not even. I'm pretty certain that going to the methadone clinic every single day afforded you lots of chances. You just don't want to do it.
That I can get out the methadone in a few months' time and prove to you that I'm not the person you think I am, Your Honor.
You are the person who you are based on what you've done and what you've continued to do. Now, you got out of prison in January of this year,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you're telling me that you're right back on the cocaine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You've created who you are. You can change who you are, but if you were going to change who you were, then you would have put the effort into it. You ain't going to change by snapping your fingers.
I know that, Your Honor.
Mr. Geigrich?
Thank you, Your Honor. In as much as the defendant just told you he was using cocaine while he was on bond, and he seems that the Brightview program isn't acceptable to him, the state of Ohio would not oppose community control, but would suggest probably JTP and NeoCap, maybe that might be what he needs to finally finish this chapter of his life. As much he just got out of prison, he admitted to using cocaine while he's on bond, and he won't sign the release so that you can see that he was doing that. I think a more stronger control over the defendant to see that he successfully completes his community control, I think would be a suitable candidate for JTP and NeoCap. Thank you.
Mr. Fatigue, anything else you want to say?
Oh, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the drug and alcohol evaluation. I received letters in support of Mr. Ryan. Listen to Mr. Ryan, I've listened to counsel. I've considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. Your claim that you're a middleman in this thing doesn't ring true to me. But beyond that, even if that were true, I've gone through your record. You claim that you hadn't used opiates since 19, so 5 years, 6 years. Been on methadone all this time. I don't know why. Been on methadone all this time. I suspect that the provider, it's their interest to keep you on methadone all this time. But setting the methadone aside, okay, you quickly figured out that would have no effect on the cocaine use, so you just used cocaine. You went to prison in the interim and continued to use cocaine after you got out. You talk about wanting to get off the methadone, to get off the drugs, that you could do treatment, but you are in treatment and you don't do the treatment. You do a half-assed job, okay? You go and get the methadone, you get that drug, you use that drug, you go to 1 out of the 3 group sessions in the last month, you go to 0 individual counseling in the last month, you don't sign a release so I can see what the toxicology shows, and then you come here and you want me to put you in treatment that you're already in but won't comply with. So you have demonstrated to me that you are not amenable to community control. So on count 1, I'm going to sentence you to 24 months in prison. On count 7, 24 months in prison. Those will be concurrent to one another with credit for 6 days. And the costs are assessed. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. If you violate, the parole authority could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If your violation is a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation, the maximum of which would be the greater of 12 months or the time left under post-release control. The remaining charges are dismissed. Is there anything else, Mr. Geigrich?
Forfeiture. Contraband.
Anything else, Mr. Fatika?
Your Honor, there is a mandatory fine. We submitted an affidavit of innocence.
All right, the mandatory minimum fines are imposed on whatever counts and they're waived.
All rise.
You got 2 years. Credit Judgment.
All right, good luck to you.
Do you have anything you want to read to her, phone or anything? No.
Sorry, we don't hug anyways.
He just put his hands right behind him. He got 24 months in prison. The first case of his that we watched, the first sentencing, he had gotten 8 months in prison. And that was, what did I say, May of 24? Yeah, May of 24. He got 8 months in prison. So he's not been out very long. Sorta. I've heard that it's not much different than the streets. Getting stuff in prison. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, they make hooch in the toilets. They're kind of resourceful. Some of them have corrupt corrections officers under their belt. Some literally, ew. So yeah. I hope that he's able to get it together, but I have so much less faith in him than I have in Timothy, our first guy. Yeah, they make their own society. And some of them become so institutionalized that when it's time to be released, they will commit another crime while in prison to extend their sentence so that they don't have to get out because they just can't face the real world. It's possible. I doubt they're going to give him methadone. Maybe. I know they do use Suboxone in the prisons. I don't know about methadone though. You know what's really wild? I was talking to a guy that was in prison and he said the number one thing that got him and that gets most prisoners upon release is the colors. That's what he couldn't handle. He couldn't handle seeing all of the colors because in prison it's concrete or, green railing, red doors, not even a bright red, kind of that maroon high school gymnasium red. The red of the dodgeballs. That's pretty much their color palette. Oh, the green of the uniforms or orange. But yeah, he said once he got out in the real world, the colors overwhelmed him. And he had to lock himself in his house for a couple days because he just couldn't handle it. Burgundy, thank you. Yes, the burgundy. I'm not snuffly tonight, but I am still kind of under the weather. And yes, Nana Laura, I took 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C gummies and a few thousand of vitamin D. But I still feel like crud. But I really wanted to share that with you. Like I said, I've been sitting on that first one for a while. I wanted to make sure that he was alive. I had to. I wasn't gonna run it if he didn't. But the day that I saw that hearing, I watched that live. The day that I saw it was the day Sandy Hurd had actually asked about physical withdrawals. And she had stated she didn't know that methamphetamine had withdrawals. And I saw that hearing and I'm like, oh, hey, in the moment, it was just him shaking. I'm like, oh, I'll be able to show Sandy that, what withdrawals are like. And it would be like an educational moment. And so I just downloaded it and then went about my business. And later on, I put it into my editor and whammo. I couldn't. And then I almost didn't stream that night. I was so upset. I was really, really bothered. And yeah, that one was hard. But like I said, I wasn't gonna show it if he didn't make it. And I couldn't believe when people in court called that courthouse and said, I was watching it live and this has been bothering me for days now. Can you tell me if he's okay? I love her. I love her so much. She is so great. Yeah. There's one of them. I can't remember what one it is. But it's in the plastic capsules. And someone that was trying to get off of them, they were taking and opening the capsules and like dumping the beads out. And they would literally like count out, 3 or 4 beads for the first few days. And then like over the course of time, like increase the number of the little beads inside the pill that they were taking. And they would just increase how many they were taking out because the withdrawals of it were so severe. And that was the only way that they could cut down on it. Yeah. I just don't understand why the first time something is offered to you, other than doctors putting you on legitimate prescriptions, which those, I get, but you're under the care of a doctor. The doctor can help you get off of them or prescribe something equivalent if necessary. You're under doctor's care. That's different. But when the local crack man says, hey, try this, who goes into it the first time going, this is going to end up great? I just don't get it. That's a bad one too. That's not the one that I was talking about, but that's a rough one. All right, guys. I'm gonna get me some sleep. Maybe I'm gonna take me some cold medicine. I know that. I know that much. Thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging out with me. I love all of you. That's rough, Manuel. I think all of us have some type of personal connection or personal story to it. Yeah, 100% Charlie. I am constantly. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.